Hi, my name is Briannias, and this is my story during ECS 210. Over the semester, we have talked a lot about who or what influences the curriculum. Through uncomfortable learning and many discussions, we are able to see the curriculum as something more than a big document. We began the semester talking and analyzing common sense. I grew up hearing how uncommon common sense really is, but it wasn't until this class that I truly analyzed what I was hearing. Common sense is knowledge that you're supposed to know and understand. Unfortunately, it's not the same for all people. It is something that is very culturally based and impacted by the society one lives in. In schools, when we follow what is the common sense, we limit our teaching ability. As teachers, we may fear leaving our comfort zone, but when we do this, we only teach to a portion of our class. We all know that every student learns in a different way, so why do we continue teaching the same way as we used to? Shortly after, we discussed the three teacher images: teacher as a practitioner, teacher as researcher, and teacher as a professional. We were asked which teacher description we fit most. Instantly, I thought of myself as a teacher as a practitioner. Every education class, whether it was math or phys ed, we were told we need to get to know our students. The best way to better a teacher's lesson is by knowing how your students learn best. However, I do think a teacher has to be a part of all three. We are lifelong learners, as we are always reflecting on our lessons and ourselves so we can do better. We are also professionals because we are always in the public eye, so we must remain proper. I think that we must be part of all three to become a great teacher. Later in the course, we discuss what it means to be a good student determined by common sense. A good student is supposed to follow the rules, listen quietly, and get good grades. The students that are able to confine themselves to these expectations are the ones who are privileged. It does not privilege the students that question, that learn better through speaking, or the ones that find sitting still a problem. With these views of a good student and the influence that common sense has on curriculum, it will be very hard to challenge or change these ideas. But I think it is a challenge that all teachers should be ready to accept. We may not be able to help each individual needs on a constant basis, but we have to try to reach as many as we can, which isn't a bad goal to strive for. The next couple lectures and seminars created really uncomfortable learning space for most of us, which isn't a bad thing. We talked about gender, sexual orientation, and race, and how at the beginning of the semester, none of us had mentioned any of those in our autobiographies. I think a lot of us didn't think about these issues because most of us fit into the stereotype of what is expected of a teacher. I never considered myself different. I was a heterosexual, white female who grew up in a middle class. I fit into the norm of society, and because of this, I didn't ever encounter discrimination. I will teach, unfortunately, many students who are faced with these problems that I didn't. The lenses that I have been wearing have hidden a crucial part to some students' lives, and I need to take off my lenses that I've had on my whole life to really be able to educate my students. Lastly, we had a guest speaker come in and talk to us about treaty education. Claire Kruger mentions three important reasons as to why as teachers we should be teaching treaty ed in our classroom. First, we need to build a relationship. Second, students want to learn about it. And third, it's our job. As a non-Aboriginal person, I fear that if I teach something in class, that I'm either going to offend someone or make a mistake. Claire was able to open my eyes that being able to hear from an experienced teacher that she has made mistakes and it's okay not to be an expert has made me eager to learn with my future students. Over this semester, I've had my eyes open to many different concepts that I would not have thought to look at. Anti-oppressive education is something that is avoided by many teachers because many fear change from what is the norm. I know teaching this way will be very uncomfortable at first, but I know that it'll be very beneficial for all my students, and I can't wait to take the challenge head on.
Created using Powtoon.